In today's video, we're going to go over how to replace this sink strainer. Now, the reality is this isn't that difficult a project, and pretty much any DIYer can do it themselves. They just need to make sure they have the right tools. So stick with me and I'll show you step by step how to get this done easily. And I'll show you the different issues you might run into along the way, and as well as explain how this kind of works. Now, for the most part, the tools I need for this project are pretty basic. I've got a new strainer here. I've got some plumber's putty. I've got some channel locks. Then I've got the rigid faucet tool. Now, this isn't necessary. You don't have to have this. You can buy a cheaper one here that has this, that just this helps to lock the faucet in so that when you're spinning the nut off, it'll actually, the faucet won't spin on you. Now, the reason I like this tool is because it has a lot of different functionality to it. So it'll do pretty much anything you need under the faucet. So if you're putting a new sink in, it works great for that. If you want to know where to get this, just click on the description, go down to my Amazon page, and then follow the link to get that there. But this is a great tool to have. I've used this for multiple different things. I've actually gone through a couple of these. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Now, before I can loosen that up, I'm going to go ahead and put the rigid faucet tool in there. And that's really just so that this doesn't twist on me. As I twist that slip nut off, I'll hold this in place so it doesn't move. So it's a good idea to put a towel down just so you don't damage the underside here. So the first thing we want to do is remove this slip nut. Go ahead and try to loosen this up. Now, I can see that mine's not sitting very well, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to easily remove it. Now, fortunately, that did come loose pretty easily. And again, that was probably because it wasn't on there correct to begin with. Not all instances does it come loose like that. Now, if you got a lot of lime buildup in there, you can take some heat, possibly break some of that up. Otherwise, you can also spray some vinegar on it. That's a possibility too. You see that's pretty nasty there. And I'm also going to loosen up down here so that I can just swing this out of the way. And my dishwasher tube is also connected there too, but that'll kind of... Now we can take our channel locks again, and we'll try to remove this this lock nut here. Now again, this is where we want to make sure we're holding on top of the rigid tool, because when this spins, we do not want the whole basket spinning with it. And if it's been in there for a long time and that putty is starting to wear out, the whole basket will spin. So that came loose pretty easily. Remove that, and then you have the basket here. Just spin that, that'll come loose like that. Then what I'll do is, usually you can just give that a pop. I'll cause that to come loose. The washer, the putty's starting to... And up top, we'll remove our tool, and then really, it should be loose enough that we can just pull it right out. All right, so with the old one out, we can go ahead and get ready to start installing the new one. Now, these are pretty straightforward. Basically, you have got a new slip nut here. You don't have to use this, but you can, and I'm going to actually replace this, so I'll show you how to use it, but you'll have to pull apart the drain a little bit more to put this on. And then you've got your lock nut here, which screws on. Then here we have a rubber washer and a fiber washer. Now, the fiber washer is going to go up against the metal here, and on this, we're actually going to put some plumber's putty. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, you can put quite a bit on here for this, so go ahead and get a handful. We're going to roll it out. And what we're going to do is just feed it on like that, push it down. And any extra will actually feed out as we tighten this down, and it'll fill in any gaps. So that's why you can put as much as you want here. Just get it all the way around like that. Then we're going to take our strainer and just set it in place and push it down as much as you can there. You really just don't want it to move when you try to tighten it up. And again, we're going to put our rigid tool in there. That way we can stop it from spinning out on it. Now we're going to take our rubber washer and fiber washer and our locking nut here in that order. Rubber, fiber, and locking. And we're just going to slide that up there. And then start screwing it on. Start tightening it down. And we'll take our channel locks, And there is a special tool for this. Makes this a little easier. If you want to grab that, I'll put that in my Amazon store as well. We're going to hold the top, and we're just going to tighten it down. Like I said, that tool makes it a little bit easier, but you can do it with the channel locks as well. Definitely want to hold the top. Now, another thing you want to be aware of is that if you get a different style of strainer that you had in there, so this was the basket strainer, this is a different style, you've got to make up for that couple of inches. And that means you either got to get a different tailpipe here, or you need to get a different connector somewhere just to make that a little bit longer. Now, because this is a little bit more of a specialized piece and not as common, I'm actually going to leave this tailpipe in place, and I'm going to change this thing out and extend that so that I can reach the tailpipe all the way up here. So let's just get this taken out. It's really just a matter of turning this. It should be about hand tight. Take that out. And we're going to take our other piece out. And we're going to take this piece out as well. And this will be the one we change out. Now we want to keep this, the washer and the nut here. Then pull that off. But it'll also come with the new one you buy, should come with one too. So first I want to dry fit this. See where I need to cut this. Put that down in there. Put this up here. Now that works for me there, and I actually don't have to cut this piece, but if you need to, you can. Now we'll pull it back out. And we'll take our nut here. Then we'll take our washer, pointed end is going to go down. Slide that on there. And we're going to take this piece, that in there. And then because this is, again, more of a specialized piece, and you have to buy it as one piece, you can't really put a different slip nut on here. We're going to use the one that's already there. We'll go ahead and tighten that on. Really, we're just going to get that about hand tight. Doesn't need to be super tight. We can go down and tighten up the rest of these. All right, now that that's in place, next thing we need to do is just test this out and make sure we don't have any leaks. Now at this point, you're also going to clean any excess putty up. Now let's go ahead and test it out. Now I don't want to just run water down like this. I actually want to run it off to the sides too, because I want to make sure there's no leaks here as well around the outside.